The Everyone Active Shield returns for its third year with the series tied 1 apiece as we welcome the Raiders to town to Slough tonight to take on your TSI World Bees. It's Saturday night in the hangar. The Everyone Active Shield, the pre-season, the third pre-season game for both teams. The Raiders looking to stay unbeaten in pre-season. The Bees looking to get off the mark after 2 losses to the Swindon Wildcats last weekend. I'm joined this week by a latest on a list of co-commentators. Chris Beale, thank you for joining me. Resident Streatham tweeter, obviously you know a lot about hockey, particularly at this level, South 1. Thank you for joining us. How you feeling?
I'm feeling a bit nervous, Joe, because obviously it's pre-season. We've all got a bit of rust to shake off. Although obviously South 1 we got underway last weekend in official competition, so a little bit of less rust for me to shake off than you, I think.
Obviously something new for you, but not too new. We did this obviously for the South of Wales final weekend back in April, hence I've dragged you along kicking and screaming to do this with me at times this year. Obviously pre-season, the best time to do it, because now you can actually watch these teams.
Yeah, just like in WWE, they've busted out the old Rock and Soul connection for one more go.
One more go around for a cheap pop, as always.
The first of probably many WWE references I will probably be making throughout this evening. So if wrestling isn't your thing, I'm going to apologise now in advance, but Anthony Russell will be along in a few weeks for some serious co-commentary.
Yes, AEW references. Right, the 2 teams for this evening. Firstly, starting off with the home side, the TSI World Bees. They line up as follows. 2, Adam Rossbottom. 5, Ollie Nags. 9, Vanya Antonov. 12, Sam Cooper. 14, Jack Hops. 18, Ryan Webb. 19, Will Stead. 21, Marcel Balaz. 23, Dominic Gabai. 24, Dan Rose. 27, Josh Smith. 47, Edgar Landsbergs. 65, Harvey Stead. 71, Josh Kelly. 74, Liam Morris. 75, Brendan Baird. 94, Stuart Mogg. Netminders 36, Brett Shepherd, and 44, Britton Prees. And I did miss one on purpose there, as a return of number 91, Aidan Doughty, for the first time in the Bees lineup this year after missing last weekend. Chris, obviously it's a different Bees side. We got a taste of it last weekend. There's a couple of names here that you know obviously very well. Vanya Antonov from his time at Streatham is a big one, big player for the Red Hawks last few years. Another one that you saw a couple of times was Brett Shepherd, and Shepherd had a great weekend last weekend, and he was a goalie that you were quite impressed with when you saw him in the Jets when he was down there at the High Road.
Yeah, I mean he was also one of our backups at one point, and he was a goalie I was always impressed with. Always looked like he had a great career ahead of him. I was a bit gutted when after a few very good showings for us that we lost him unfortunately to the Jets, but he's pushed on really well with the Jets, and hopefully he'll be pushing on really well with the Bees. Obviously, as you said, I feel like I'm looking at an ex-Bison and Streatham roster here, so I'm very familiar with a lot of the players here. Obviously Brendan Baird, Aidan Doughty, Dan Rose, Vanya Antonov, obviously I've been very familiar with over the last few seasons, all players who've impressed on their time on the High Road. And also Ryan Webb, another player who I was gutted to see leave Streatham a few seasons ago, but also very happy to see he's flourished here as well.
It's a team that has a lot more depth to it than it did last year, especially at the start of the season for the Bees.
Definitely, I think that was probably one of the Achilles heels for the Bees last season, was the fact that there just weren't those guys that were able to drop in when somebody went down, which is definitely a strong suit for this team going forward this year.
What we say about teams getting stronger, I don't think if any team got stronger than our visitors this evening, the Raiders. Don't worry, producing it, we'll get there eventually. The Raiders,
it's pre-season.
It's pre-season. Nick's trying to do, I caught him off guard. I'm trying to do other things. They line up as follows: 10, Brandon Ailiff; 11, Tom Ralph; 12, Mikey Power; 13, Elliot Dewey; 14, Jack Cooper; 18, Marco Pasquale; 19, Harry Gulliver; 21, Callum Wells; 24, Zach Milton; 28, Nick Leyer; 29, Jake Sylvester; 55, Sean Barry; 63, Aaron Connolly; 81, Adam Leishram; 89, Vladislav Novak; 95, Jacob Ranson; and 98, TJ Anderson. Netminders 32, Brad Winterbank; 39, Ethan James. Not icing for them tonight. Owen Dell and Ashley Jackson. Dell, I know, is obviously down in Solent. Ashley Jackson's obviously a very busy man. Joe Tomlin and Breenley Caps will play for the Buccaneers against the Streatham Red Hawks in South 1 tonight. Chris, it's a very stacked Raiders team. Obviously, they made the playoff final last year, surprised many. They've gotten stronger, obviously, with the signings of George Norcliffe and Zach Milton. You bring in someone like Adam Leishram, who was gone on like a house on fire when he played for the Raiders last year. And personally, what I'm more excited for, this full-time step-up of TJ Anderson.
TJ Anderson is probably also the player I am most excited to see step up. He was a player who was a constant thorn in the side of the Streatham Red Hawks last season whenever he played against us. I remember that amazing charge he made down the wing to go across and score in that playoff semi-final. He was one of those players who every off-season when Stratton were building their roster, he was top of my I would love if we could get him shopping list, and it's great to see him step up full-time into a National League with the Raiders. Obviously it's a stacked roster, and they were the unexpected stars, in my opinion, of that playoff weekend last year. Everybody, I think, pretty much I think nobody expected them to make that final. I think everyone expected it to be a Sheffield versus Leeds final. But Leeds walked away with the trophy, but I felt at the end of Sunday that the Raiders were really the stars of the show, because they did put on a show that day. It's a team that can put on a show, and it's really, really added and upped its strength this season with the players that they've brought in.
I must apologise there. This is 19 Harry Gulliver. 19 is, of course, George Northcliffe. I must apologise that on that graphic. What's happened there?
I was a little panicked there because I was like, my Elite Prospects research last night didn't show Harry Gulliver on this roster.
Yeah, apologies, Raiders fans. It's pre-season and all that. We'll get that.
That's not some kind of surprise signing announcement that we're making.
No, George Northcliffe and Zach Milton obviously moved from the Bison to the Raiders. I know there was two players that a lot of the Bees fan base obviously wanted. The Raiders win the lottery on that one. It's a very deep team. Again, I like the fact that it's got a lot of scoring. That fourth line that has Ranson and Novak on it is going to cause issues. Good work producing it, by the way. I saw that. That's going to cause issues for teams at times this year.
Well, Jacob Ranson is just one of those amazing energy players that he's got speed, he's got that tenacity. Again, he's a former Red Hawk. He's another player who I absolutely used to love. Used to love how he just used to tear around the rink, either when he was on the puck or off the puck. He was an absolute pain to try and play against.
As the mascots and the officials have joined us on the ice. Our officials this evening, referees, are Mr. Hugh Poulton and Mr. Matt Rose. That's just been aligned with Mr. Phil O'Neill and Mr. Flynn Sitch Cunningham as we just await the Raiders. Now, I'm going to hope they've got their kits this week. I haven't had it confirmed, but the fact that the Bees only have black, and last week the Raiders only had black, this could cause issues.
I did wonder what was going on in that footage from the Peterborough game of why it looked like they were wearing warm-up jerseys.
Someone will no doubt correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm fairly sure the black jerseys are either their charity jersey or their warm-up jersey. And they had to wear those last weekend because the home and away shirts hadn't arrived.
Well, that is what we have Match Night Live on Twitter for.
Exactly. We had a similar issue last year where, well, we have a similar issue as well with the fact that our white socks are here, but our white shirts weren't here last week. And on the fact that we're still wearing black, I do believe they're not here again.
Stretton had a similar issue a few seasons ago, but that involved us changing into blue jerseys at an intermission to allow us to win a game.
Yes, I know about that one. I was there. And actually, I think you find it was Soren's issue because we only had one jersey delivered out of 3. Who doesn't love British hockey? So we just await the Raiders. The Raiders have been introduced, shall I say, but with no one really wanting to move. You can see them there on the camera, and that looks like they're wearing gold to me. As we await the Bees, who are led out on the ice tonight by Britton Priest. Priest played 2 periods last Sunday, taken off with a knock as the Raiders do enter the ice.
Led out by Jamie Winterbank.
Brad Winterbank, they're out in gold. I must admit, I do like the gold jersey for the Raiders. And Brad Winterbank for that matter. Shout out to Kingpin Sports Design. He lets me write in his playoff programme on occasions.
And me getting his name wrong, I feel like a meme is born.
Yes. Pre-season, that's the excuse. Everything is pre-season.
Everything is pre-season.
Everything is pre-season.
You'd think, considering last year I got up to Romford to see the Raiders play a few times, that I'd remember his name.
So we await Britton Priest, who leads the Bees out. In front of a crowd that is still filling in here at the hangar. And we'll leave you with match night announcer Danny Purchard for the playing of the national anthem, and we will see you in about 2.5 minutes' time. We are minutes away from the third iteration of the Everyone Active Shield. The series is tied 1-1, the Bees winning it first off in 2021, the Raiders winning it last year 2022. Who takes the tiebreaker? If it's anything like last year's, the Bees will not want to turn up for this. The Raiders and the Bees met 8 times last year and the Raiders walked away with the win in all 8 games.
Well, familiarity breeds contempt, and there's no such thing as a friendly, even in pre-season in ice hockey.
It's one of the things, it's a game that has, known by many names. I've seen it called many different things now across the interwebs by different sets of fans. The No Name Derby, the Everyone Active Derby, the Elizabeth Line Derby. Insert your favourite one here, I suppose.
I like the Liz Line Cup, that sounds
The
good.
Liz Line Cup. You have at the far end Brad Winderbank in goal for the Raiders. Raiders in goal tonight. Blue shorts, gold socks. The Bees with Britton Priest in goal. Black shirts, black shorts, black socks. There's a fair few Raiders fans down in the far corner from us as well. I suppose it's the one plus side with this is it's a very easy trip nowadays.
It is. I mean, it was a very easy trip for me coming from South London. It's why Romford's one of my favourite away days, because it's just a simple trip up on the Elizabeth line.
It's also a really nice rink.
It is a very nice rink.
If people could cookie cutter that rink into basically everywhere else, I'd be fine with it.
I would love it. I mean, like the away end has a seat just at ice level, which is, in my opinion, the best view in all away ends of all arenas I've ever been in this country.
Never been to Solent. There's no bad views there. As referee Matt Rose drops the puck, we are underway. Bees win the opening draw.
I mean, as a Stratton fan, I've never had a bad view in Solent.
Liar. Ross Bottom knocks it ahead, intercepted by Raiders D-man. It's dumped ahead. Mogg there ahead of Norcliffe, finds goodbye. Knocked back into the Bees D zone. Baird collects. Brendan Baird is wearing the seat now. The Bees haven't quite settled on a leadership group just yet. They've been rotating around all pre-season. Goodbye shot is blocked away by Winderbank.
That was good. Good early attempt, get the first shot off, but good early penetration and up high there from goodbye.
Bees with it. Ballard sends it back to Harvey Stead. Both teams change. Stead spins away from Sylvester, leads the rush up ice. Hands it off to Doughty. Doughty's first shot is fluttered up into the glove of Winderbank. He holds on inside the first minute.
And that's good work there again. Gets the face off in the opposition zone. Not too much of a challenge there for Winderbank on that one. Nice easy glove save, but still forces the face off, which can generate a chance from the top here.
Face off to Winderbank's right is won by the Bees. They can't quite get under control. Rose bringing the other way. Knocked ahead, deep past Mount by Sylvester. Stead will clear. Finds Antonov on the right hand side. Antonov shot into the glove and out of Winderbank. Antonov around past Raiders D-man, who takes a tumble. And that's Doughty.
That's where Antonov thrives the best, in that area behind the net.
As he wheels up through the zone, shot towards goal is blocked in front. See if he managed in the way. Shot from Will Stead is knocked into the corner by Winderbank. Raiders try and clear. And the fan there by Pascale probably helps him out a bit as the Bees really look for a change. Cross ice pass. Finds Novak. He flips it ahead into the zone. And Harvey Stead on his own. He leaves it for Nags behind Bees' net. Stead turned over. Cooper stepping in from his own zone. Shovels it down. A-lift collection behind the net. Finds Novak. And the net to Power. Power's attempt to pass is intercepted by Smith. That doesn't clear the zone. It will now this time. Raiders ahead. Novak takes the hit. Smith tries to find Morris off the skate. Novak. Pass attempt to Power, finds his way up to the D-man. Down back to Power. Shot goes through the crease. Nobody there in a gold shirt. Pops. Leaves it for his D partner Harvey Stead. He's got Anderson for company. Morris tries to get around Wells.
This is a really strong forecheck here from the Raiders at the moment. They are just choking that offensive breakout off for the Bees.
Kelly can't quite clear the zone. Raiders happy to knock it back in. Anderson tries to find Leia. Cleared away by Webb. Landsberg can't get away again. Leia finds Anderson. Anderson's shot is blocked by Kelly.
And that was good work there covering off Anderson, because you know when Anderson gets the puck on the end of his stick like that, he's going to fire first and he's going to be accurate with it. But the Bees really need to work on that offensive breakout.
Kelly keeps in the blue line, shot through traffic, deflected in front by Stead. Landsberg's shot is saved by Winterbank. Raiders break the other way, or attempt to. Good back check there, but it's offside is the call there. Bobbly puck.
I would say it's offside. Bit of a neutral zone bobble there.
I said the Bees haven't quite settled on a leadership group so far. It's 3 different captains and sets of alternates in the 3 nights. I'm hoping they pick one before the first league game next Saturday. As Baird collects the loose puck. Where do you stand on leadership groups being selected?
Well, you obviously want it selected before the start of the season. You want somebody who's obviously a bit cliche, but you want somebody who's a voice in the, as Bees test there and fire wide. You want somebody who's obviously a voice in the room. You want somebody who's been here a while. I mean, I think Stuart Mogg would be an obvious candidate for my money.
Norcliffe shot, tight angle saved by Priest. Net comes off for a second. He pulls it back on. Laysham goes back up to the D-man. Shot tipped in front by Norcliffe, saved by Priest. Puck goes up high into the netting. We'll have another break and play.
I mean, you don't really want to be, for lack of a better term, playing lead captaincy speed dating, really.
Swipe left for alternate. Face off all the way to the right of Priest. Won by the Raiders. Shot comes in. Face off. Big save by Priest. Priest had a tough night of it on Sunday. He took a knock on the 4th Wildcats goal and was pulled from the game at the end of the second. I don't think they wanted to risk him. It's the first, hopefully, the first real chance we're going to see Priest play full 60 minutes.
And he's a goalie with a good pedigree behind him and should provide a solid starting option for this team. Obviously, plenty of elite league experience. I remember watching him play for the Blaze and being very impressed with him when he was in the backup role there.
Also, his numbers in Dundee last year aren't anything to be sniffed at. They were quality. That pass, however, was not by Stuart Mogg. It still works out the Bees' way as Andy Rantanov comes up the left-hand side. Shot from a tight angle, held against the post by Winterbank. 4:49 gone so far in the first period.
And that's something I always remember Vanya doing. He loves that skate down the wing and just cut inside and snap the quick shot off.
It feels a very different game already to last Sunday, where the Bees are actually able to get stuff going forward and don't seem to be, as you put it, we're talking pre-game, so passive in defence already.
It really did look like they were being just choked out last weekend against the Wildcats from what I saw on the highlight packs. Definitely so far there's been a lot more urgency, a lot more aggression going forward.
Rose, back up to the blue line and Mogg. Mogg shot through traffic, takes a few deflections. Following around, comes out to Nags. He goes to the bench. I think it's Morris holding his hand. Mogg flips it ahead. Raiders with it, so also can't get on the pass. Harvestead collects. Enthusiastic no icing call there from Mr. Sitch Cunningham. Bees with it. Stead. Up ice, can't find a man in black. Raiders with it. Antonov with a back check there to steal the puck away from Leia. Baird. Cross ice finds Webb, he knocks it ahead. Landsberg gives chase. Raiders come back the other way. Pass into zone, shot from a tight angle is blocked by Priest. Power takes a tumble after the shot. Raiders back the other way. Not kept in the blue line. All the way to Baird. Power is deemed offside. Stead chips ahead, and as far as Pasquale. Right-hand side, shot from a tight angle coming in from Dewey. Blocked away by Bruce again. Pasquale.
That was a little awkward there with both Bird and Balaj going for the same puck. You don't really want to see that in your own end.
Good to Dewey. Finds Anderson. Dumped around the boards. Fox tries to take it away. Anderson collects. Anderson shot saved by Bruce. Goal comes off. Expert net minding there, if you get the post off.
I mean, that's elite league level net minding right there from Priest.
Yeah, Welsh goalie kicking the net off. No, never seen it before. Stevie Lyle Summer is very happy.
But that was good there from TJ Anderson, closing the distance, gets on the angle, forces the save. Obviously, I think he would have wanted a very different outcome.
Face off won by the Raiders. Novak brings it into the corner. Harvey Stead beats him to it. Goodbye. Cuts, finds Balaz. Return pass to Goodbye. Goodbye's shot is swallowed up by Winterbank.
That was a nice little link-up play. He completely controlled the centre of the ice there and had all the time in the world to get that shot away.
It's been a very even first 7.5 minutes here. It seems very much you have a shot, we'll have a shot at the moment.
It's that chess match feel that you have at the start of any game, especially for two teams who haven't played each other yet this season. They're figuring each other out, trying to work out what's going to work best on the forecheck, what's going to work worst.
I'd like to see a game that has a lot less penalties than last week. He had 14 power plays total last Sunday against the Wildcats.
I mean, you do not win games from the penalty box.
No, as the Raiders bring it into the B zone. Pass centre ice to Connolly, not quite to take. Doughty will bring it the other way. Antonov up the right-hand side, cuts in, looks for an option, finds a trailing Josh Kelly. Kelly shot from a tight angle, kicked behind by Winterbank. Shot in front, saved by Winterbank.
And that just there was why Vanya Antonov re-signing here with the Bees is so key for them as an organisation, because Vanya does that. He just generates play and drives it wherever he goes, especially as we saw there again from behind the net.
Morris tries to chip it ahead and takes his own dump in ahead of Ralph. Can't get there ahead of Leia though. Held up against the boards. Smith tries to bring it away. Puck finds its way up to Cooper on the blue line. Cooper shot for traffic, blocked by the first man. Cooper will have another go. Tight angle shot in front is blocked. Morris tries to get around his man. Puck still finds his way on a B stick. Smith knocks it back down low to Rose. Turned over though. Ralph from behind his own net gets a stick lifted. Luckily there's a man in goal with him. That's turned over though.
For just narrowly avoiding a too many men call there.
Webb into the zone. Shot goes behind the net. Landsbergs, he'll hold it up, knocks loose to Webb, goes towards the goal. Raiders collect with Ralph again. Cross-ice pass, icing call will get beaten out by Sylvester. Sylvester spins away from Mon, puck knocked loose. Milton looks for an option, tries to find a trailing Pasquale, but Landsbergs intercepts. Landsbergs into the zone, chipped ahead, finds Webb, shot blocked away by Winterbank. Turned over, Antonov collects it, goes to the wraparound. Can't pull it off. Mon from the blue line, shot tipped in front. Antonov back to Mog on the blue line. Webb knocked off the puck. Ross bottom collects. Raiders into the zone, shot into the glove of Priest. He'll hold on. 9:24 to go in the first. Producer Nick has slyly passed me a note that I have to read. I have to take this time to apologise for the sepia colour tone on the stream. The camera hasn't recovered with white auto balance. Post lights coming on again. He is frantically working off to my right, trying to work it out. If not, he will try and sort it in the period break.
If nothing, it gives it a retro hockey appearance.
Yes. Just can you make it NHL 94 pixelated for next week? Stead knocks it on ahead to Ross Bottom. That is offside. He will come back outside. The next note simply says no, apparently. I tried. Face off won by the Raiders. Cooper with it. Cross-ice breakout play, not quite to tape. Stead tries to clear it. Can't, has to go back. Spins away from one man, finds Goodbye. Goodbye at the left-hand side, burns past well. Shot from a tight angle, misses everything. Raiders collect. Well, wants the counter-attack. Dumped in. Nags with time. Cross bottom, leaves it for Balance. Balance finds Goodbye. Goodbye winds up, fakes the shot, steps inside, and it's still blocked by the one man he tried to fake out. And comes all the way back to Hops. Baird. And that is icing as Baird didn't quite get over the centre ice line. It is a right call from our angle up here.
Still seeing a lot of that, what you described as the back and forth. One side will try something, the other side tries it. But a lot more speed there and a lot more urgency in the play from the Bees.
It feels just in general there's a lot of... It feels a lot more orientated towards speed this game. Last week was a lot more methodical and trying to use power. This feels like it's going to be a case of how fast can we blow past people.
Well, when you're playing against a team that has a lot of size in the way that the Raiders do, the best option you have really is to try and zip past them.
Especially with at least one whippet on each line, which is what seems to be what Goodbye has gone for tonight. It seems to be working so far. That clearance did not. Will come all the way back the other end.
I mean, it's a bit of a throwback, but it's the method that Paul Thompson used to use on the Coventry Blaze back in 2003. You had one whippet, one guy who could, such as an Andre Payette, who would do the rough stuff, clear the space for the whippet.
Hops collects, finds Balaz. Balaz looks for an option, can't quite get it to Baird. Ralph collects. Up ice to Leia, tips ahead, that'll wash out any icing fall. Anderson gives chase. Hops knocks it away from him momentarily. Anderson stick hands around but loses the puck out to Baird. Antonov, big hit from Pascale. Clean hit, I should also point out. I feel like we have to preempt that with that nowadays. Even the good hits get called.
And we're going to see the hits ramping up as we see there a retaliatory hit.
Yes, Will Stead is one to stand up for a player like that.
Well, Vanya Antonov's the one player you don't want players hitting.
Shot from Norcliffe, takes the flash and goes behind. Norcliffe able to bulldoze Hops off the puck. Connolly spins away, loses out. Leishram. Puck finds way to Connolly's stick. Connolly's shot saved by Priest. Nobody there for the rebound. Tipped over the goal. Baird and Leishram both went for it. Luckily it goes over Priest's net and up to the Bees bench.
I think potentially even if that had gone in, we'd have been looking at a high sticks call.
Would have thought so.
Yeah. So that was great work there by Aaron Connolly, forcing the puck into the centre slot area and getting that shot away.
As Anthony Russell pointed out, two Bison captains on one line for the Raiders, the former Bison captains. Face off to Priest's left is won by Dan Rose. He's trying to clear, kept in. Morris off the boards, finds Rose. He's surrounded by two men in gold and coughs up the puck. The Raiders the other way, snapshot, goes off the post from Norcliffe. Pipe go ping. Raiders still with it down low here. Morris able to get the puck away momentarily from Leishram. Connolly back up to the blue line. Wells, shot in front, swallowed up by Priest.
And that's a very well-worked move there again by the Raiders. They're really asserting their authority right now in the offensive end. And the Bees really need to find a cleaner way to get these Bucks out of the defensive end.
It's just been a few errors creeping in for the Bees that have meant them being pinned into their own zone now. The Raiders win the draw. Wilstead will try and bring it out and get a change. Offs it up before he can get over centre ice. Raiders into the zone. Milton shot once again saved by Priest.
It's that active stick work, especially on the transition phase, that's doing it for the Raiders at the moment. They're getting those poke checks in at the key exact moments, and there's always that Raider there on the overlap to pick it up when it goes loose. Again,
it's like you said about last week's game, when you watch the highlights, there was a lot of being unable to break out of our own zone, and for the last 3 or so minutes, the same thing's been happening again. He's just unable to get outside. It's past centre ice. Shot from a tight angle, takes a couple of deflections and goes wide of Priest's right-hand post. Right, so with it, tip in front from Milton. That is covered up again by Griffin Priest. 5:50 left on the clock. Face off, Priest is right. One by the Bees. Whistles are blown. Bees receive the warning, I believe. I think it's just about moving before the draw on that one. This time the Raiders come away with it, only momentarily. Rossbottom brings it outside centre ice, dumps it in. Goodbye will give chase. One man's beaten Sean Barry. Goodbye. Shot from a tight angle from Balaz. No, Rossbottom, sorry. Raiders the other way again. Rossbottom intercepts the pass from Milton. Balaz. Drop pass to Goodbye. Kept in the blue line from Stead. Stead's shot is kicked away by Winterbank. Balaz down to Goodbye. Back up to Stead. Stead's shot is well wide. Balaz tries to move it in front, only passes it into the glove of Winterbank, who will freeze.
Talking about the Bees offense, they're getting the offense, but they're getting the shots on net, but they're getting them from too far out. They need to try and close the distance, try and rattle Winterbank a little bit.
Something we saw at times last week was there was sort of not like an inability, but almost we don't want to crash the net. I think that's something that maybe we're going to be a little too nice on as the year goes ahead. Icing is called, and we'll go back the length of it.
And the thing is like one of my things I remember, for example, like to take a player like Ryan Webb. I remember from the Streatham days, like Webby was a nightmare if you put him a few feet out from the net with a loose puck. And they need to be like, I feel like that's something that the Bees need to be trying right now.
Face off, one by the Raiders. Antonov picks up the loose puck, tries to go to the net, just as we say, but no one's doing it. Power spins and clears.
It's the reverse curse of the commentator.
Yep. Less about that, the better. Raiders, Pascale shovels it to the front of the net. Bundle in front. Priest covers it up.
Well, we said the Bees needed to be crashing the net, but obviously the Raiders heard us. And
I do think Layer instead got a bit tangled there. There's no malice there between the three players involved. Priest giving Layer a little tap on the head as he gets up. Face off to Priest is right. One by Rose again. Coughed up in the corner. Rose intercepts a pass to Layer. Rose skates in, one man to beat. To the front of the net. Takes the deflection away. Rose finds Baird. Baird shot, tight angle, almost a tip in front there by, I believe, Josh Smith it is. Finds his way back up to Baird. Finds Nags. Again, another tip in front from Josh Smith. Josh Smith doing the job of getting to the front of the net now. Nags, that is penalty called. Tripping is called on Ollie Nags there. 15:51 the time of the penalty. And the Raiders will have the first power play of the night.
And you did say you wanted the Bees to be taking less penalties this evening. Obviously, you're going to end up taking one.
Well, they did. It was only 4 last week. The
Yeah.
problem was they let the Wildcats convert on 2 of those.
Yeah.
Now, the penalty kill wasn't horrendous last weekend for the Bees, which is something that last year, especially the start of the season, it was. But again, this is why we have pre-season games. The Raiders very much were one of the better power play teams last season, although I think they only scored twice on the power play against the Bees last year. Raiders win the draw. Cross-ice pass, tipped in front, saved by Priest as Norcliffe cuts across his front. Nick is very happy to say that the Bees penalty is sponsored by SureTech. Worked all week on those. Face off, won by Balaz. Baird. Heavy shot off the door, so it goes nowhere. Raiders with it. Norcliffe. Behind the net. Tries to go back up to Sylvester. Norcliffe down low from a tight angle. Finds his way up to the D-man tip in front. That bounces wider than Ed Norcliffe's stick, almost knocking it in. Finds his way back to Sylvester. Shot from the blue line. Tipped in front by Norcliffe. This time it's up into the netting. Good pressure from the Raiders here.
Yeah, and I could see Norcliffe and Connolly there rotating in and out in front of the net. That looked like definitely like it was a set play coming from the training ground straight there.
It does look like the set play is one of them cut across right at the last second. Just screen the netminder for a brief moment, take the eyes away. Raiders win the draw again. Leia tries to go back up to the blue line. That goes up and into the stands. Go again, face off Priest is right. 1:14 left on the Nags minor, I think I should say. Puck goes round to Ansnell, he loses out. I want to say Power gives him a jump scare.
He almost loses out to the referee in that scenario.
Power, back down low to Novak. Novak from a tight angle, pass is blocked. Leishram spins away momentarily from Antonov. Novak. Back to Leishram, up to the blue line. Power. Down low to the Canadian, Leishram. Power winds up 5, shot saved by Priest, shoveled in at the second attempt by Novak. Good save again for Priest. Leishram able to get there ahead of Antonov. Leishram back to the slot, shot from Power, takes the deflection off Kelly and goes wide. Leia back to Power, 30 seconds left. Leishram up to Power on the blue line. Sorry, Dewey I should say. Down low to Leishram. Into the slot again, Power shot wide. Leia finds Dewey. Leishram shot wider than net again. That will leave the zone and that will do it for the Nags minor as that expires and the Bees return to full strength.
That was a good penalty kill there. It's good to get the first penalty kill out of the way, always obviously in any game. Looked like the Raiders were definitely looking more for rebounds though there on those chances.
Shot from Norcliffe goes wide of Priest's left-hand post. Landsberg is able to jump into a passing lane momentarily. Takes it away from Norcliffe. Wild pass there, leaves it to Stuart Mogg. Just getting a bit scrappy here as he enter the last 2 minutes. Shot takes a deflection, that will flutter down to Priest. He holds on. 1:30 exactly to go here in the first period. Lake 1 of the Everyone Active Shield for 2023. Face off left of Priest, won by Leishram. Shot comes in, blocked away by Priest. Bees unable to clear again. Cooper keeps it in. Rossbottom takes it away from Sylvester. Balaz will find Gabai. Gabai on the breakout, looking for support. Have to go himself. Gabai to front of the net. Back goes through the crease. Raiders unable to clear. That should be a trip, and it is.
And Goodbye there doing what we were saying he should do. He went straight to the net, crashed it.
Got in, lost the handle, but the Bees end up with a power play. Tripping is the call on the Raiders. 18:55 the time of the power play.
I call that a net gain from that scenario.
Yeah, I would too. Zach Milton sits 2 for tripping. He said the Bees 2 for 10 last Sunday on the power play. Well, that's something they will look to improve on. They had enough opportunities last week. They win the draw. Antonov with it as they enter the final minute of the first period. Antonov from the left-hand hash. Down low. Cross-ice pass attempted to Balaz. Takes the flash and still finds its way to the Slovak. Goodbye. Shot comes in. Saved by Winterback. He'll hold on. 40.5 seconds exactly on the clock.
Interesting defensive technique there from the Raiders. It seemed like there were three gold shirts screening their own netminder.
We said it's something that worked last week. That was the problem. It was keeping the Bees to the outside. They couldn't get in past the zone. Raiders win the draw. They will clear at the length of the ice. Priest out to play it. Takes it away from Connolly. Goodbye. Balaz. Connolly takes a hit. No call there. The Bees bench doesn't like their coach being hit. And Liam Morris has gone for Aaron Connolly. Connolly doesn't want to be involved. Liam Morris is quite happy to take exception to it. Make of that what you will. I'm going to say it. I do believe Liam Morris has been baited into that one.
I would say so as well, but then at the same time, you've got to stand up for your teammates. And Morris, I mean, that's what Morris. One of the things you employ Morris to do is to stand up for your teammates. And Aaron's no stranger to that kind of controversy.
The Bees bench didn't approve of the hit on their coach. The referees are having a discussion as to what the call is. Morris did challenge Connolly. Connolly was not interested.
Good news is Goodbye has gone to the bench.
Goodbye is on the bench, yes. Yeah. We should say that. Yeah. Morris is in the box at the moment. I did not see Connolly get put in there. I will say this, I have seen in the past this doesn't usually end well for the aggressor.
No, especially with the unwilling combatant rulings that we now have.
Well, they haven't escorted Morris off the bench. .1938 is the time of the penalty. We'll wait and see what comes of this. 2 minutes for Morris has gone up on the board. Aaron Connolly is skating to the bench, to the changing room. I think the Bees fans think he's been kicked out. I think that's more of a case of there's 22 seconds left. Go have a sit down, fella. Which I assume means Morris will get the same.
Possibly, don't know. Maybe he needs something stitched up.
Maybe. Little column A, little column B. Still a conversation going on here. It all started from the initial hit down below us from Connolly on Goodbye, which the Bees bench didn't agree with. Must admit, if anything, it was late rather than malicious.
So the face-off looks like it's going to take place here in the Bees end.
Yes, we're going 4-on-4 by the looks of it. Morris has got 2 minutes for something. Here we go. +2 for roughing for Liam Morris. So the Raiders essentially have a 4-minute power play coming. Well, a 3 minutes 19 power play coming. It's 4-on-4 for the next 22 seconds anyway. We'll worry about the rest of it in a while. I think the conversation is now going on of how can we get 2+2 and nothing on Connolly, but Connolly didn't drop the gloves. I think we'll settle on the usual excuse for last weekend and this weekend of it's pre-season for everyone.
Everyone's got a bit of rink rust that they need to shake off, including our officials.
Now. No game without them. 22 seconds to go here. Face off to the left of Priest. He's won by Rose. He's able to clear it. Dewey can't get it under control and it will leave the zone. Stead throws a hit on Dewey as he makes the pass across goal. Final 10 seconds. Chance for one last Raiders rush. Sylvester drops it off. Shot from a tight angle. Misses everything. Back up to Dewey and blue line. Leia collects. Shot from a tight angle. Goes through the crease. And the buzzer goes to signal the end of the first period. The first period has been very even. Attempts for both sides. The Raiders coming the closest with George Norcliffe banging one off the inside of the post and out. It all got a bit nasty there towards the last minute following a hit on Don Gabai from Aaron Connolly. Liam Morris sitting 2+2. The end of the first, it's 0-0 here. We'll be back in about... Welcome back here to Slough for the start of the second period. A second period which, despite the scoreline, was actually quite eventful. It's 0-0 after 20 minutes here. Shots on goal in that period. There were 15 on Brithen Priest, 11 on Brad Winterbank, and then just the 4 penalties in the end. We're currently still sitting 2 of them. Aaron Connolly has returned for the second period, just so Raiders fans are aware. They'll have 56 seconds of a Zach Milton tripping minor to kill at the start of this. I say kill, it's 4-on-4 after Liam Morris took a 2+2. There's 1:38 of that first one left to sit. We'll have 56 seconds of 4-on-4, and then the next 2 minutes 42 of 5-on-4 for the Raiders, unless there's a goal. Chris, it was a very even first period, lots of chances for both teams. It seemed to be a case of the game really flowed in waves of, here, you have 2 minutes, we'll have 2 minutes, and vice versa.
It was a very swinging pendulum kind of series of offences, with one team trying to outdo the other one, and then the play going back the other way. But like I said, it's pre-season, like we keep saying, it's pre-season, and neither team has played each other this year in either of its current forms. This is a very rebuilt Bees roster. There's new elements added onto this Raider roster this year. They're both just trying to figure out what they can do. But I think that, you know, what happened at the end of the first period there, we're going to see an amping up of a few things going into the second period.
Yes, it could get quite feisty here. I want to say we have 56 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey to start the second period as Hugh Poulton drops the puck. We're underway again. Raiders win the draw. Dewey's attempted clearance is blocked by Antonov. Into the corner. Antonov wheels in front. Shot is blocked. Floats to the crease. Cross-ice pass finds Leia. Leia to the front of the net. Leia, wraparound shot. Nick Leia gets it in. And we have a goal inside 20 seconds to start the period. The Canadian gets another goal in his pre-season tally. It's 1-0 Raiders. And
Nick Leia says to Vanya Antonov, anything you can try to do at one end of the ice, I'm going to go to the other end of the ice and do it better.
Not a lot Brithen Priest could have done with that one. Nick Leia breezing past the D-man and doing the move that anyone who's played NHL 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, you get the joke, has done. You cut right across the goal and slide it into the empty net. Gabai into the B zone. He tries to copy Nick Leia. Raiders the other way. 2019 time of the goal there for Nick Leia. Lasham into the zone. Shipped ahead. Baird will try and clear. Bounce takes it back to Baird. He gets a stick lift. As a Raider blows a tyre. Connolly. Lasham brings it into the zone. Raiders return to full strength. 5-on-4. Shot across goal again. Covered by Priest. It was a cross-ice attempt. Connolly at the front of the net trying to tip it in. It's stopped by Priest.
I saw their Bees trying to answer back almost quickly, but they couldn't get organised quick enough. And Raiders turn it over and force it back the other way and almost add another one. And again, Nick Leia at the centre of all of it. It's
a very big spell here now for the Bees. The problem they had a lot last year was they would lose games just with 5 minutes of sheer madness. They can't afford to let this game get out of hand in the next, well, 2.5 minutes. Raiders step in front, shot saved by Priest. Mogg tries to get away from Leia. He loses out. Puck comes back to Milton. Ralph, round the horn it goes, shot in front, saved by Priest. He'll cover up. 10 seconds left on the first of the Morris Miners.
I mean, even with the man advantage there, the Bees were really playing catch-up there on the puck move. They really were struggling to keep pace with the puck movement and not really able to get any kind of impact on any of the puck carriers there.
Is it nerves, do you reckon, a case of, you know, if they let the Raiders get away with it now, it's 2-0 again, now all of a sudden they're in a deep hole?
Well, potentially, yes, but at the same time, I mean, one of my favourite axioms in hockey is always the 2-goal lead is the worst lead to have, because you then force the Raiders into the scenario where they either have to go all out to get the third or they have to shut it down, and you can maybe make a break from that.
Ralph's wayward pass is picked off. He's unable to capitalise on it. Ralph takes it the other way. The first of Morris's penalties is done. We're now inside 2 minutes of the second. Icing is called on that one. 18:05 in the second period. 1:42 left on Morris's penalty. We'll come all the way down to the Raiders' end of the ice.
These will really need to win this face-off here, just to try and generate something from this, to try and get something back going.
Goodbye is lining up behind Balaz here, waiting for it. Face-off won by the Raiders. Goodbye is able to jump in ahead. Goodbye still with it, killing valuable seconds at least. Held up in the corner. Puck is knocked loose. Connolly collects, finds Ralph. Raiders now clear. Connolly into the Bees zone. Waits for the trailing forward. It's Jake Sylvester. Sylvester's shot is over the glass. Almost falls to the tape of, I believe, Norfolk it is. Good work from Harvey-Stead to take it away from him. Stead does take it away from another Raiders forward. Loses it momentarily. Takes a hit from Connolly. Bees will clear at the length of the ice. Winterbank out of his net to play it. Goes around the boards, almost coughed it straight up to Dan Rose. Couldn't touch it because Goodbye was on the ice. Raiders get it now. Leia finds Milton. Back up to Dewey.
Raiders doing a really good job at the moment of stretching Priest with these last minute just snaps across the front of goal looking for the last man.
Dewey finds Leia, cross-ice pass to Lacia, goes back across the net, misses everything. Novak was there, couldn't get on the end of it.
These really need to find a way to cancel that out, because in a minute, at least possibly one of these is going to connect.
Sylvester down low, cross-ice pass again. Here it is, and that shot and wide open net goes over. The Bees will clear it. That should hopefully do it for the Morris penalty, and they return to full strength. Back to 5-on-5. The Raiders ice it straight off the stepping out of the box of Liam Morris. So the Bees do a good job on the kill.
So this is a way now you've got to build off that momentum going into this. You've got to try and win. Obviously, you've got to win this face-off, but you've got to try and generate something here. The Bees have got Vanya Antonov out there. They've got to use his speed to try and generate something.
Top line out for the Bees at least. They lose the puck. Leia up the left-hand side. Dumps it into the far corner. Bees will collect. That will be icing. We'll go back the other way. Raiders finally able to get a change. Frenetic first 4 minutes of this period.
It does feel like everything has stepped up a gear from that first period.
Yep, we've had 20 minutes of feeling each other out. Now it's, right, let's play hockey. Bees win the draw. Lose it out though. Raiders with it. Barry on the blue line. Towards goal. Takes a few deflections. Comes on the other side. Another big save from Priest needed. A lot of shoveling around things. They're still going in. There's a lot of sticks there in on the goalie. We'll have another scrum in front of the net. Britton Priest is still chatting to the forward. Can't quite see who it is.
I think that was Jacob Ranson.
What's the scrum in front of you? It is Jacob Ranson.
Well, I mean, that's typical Jacob. He's always digging for the puck, even too, and sometime after the whistle.
Well, I think he's going to come out of the zone. There is a penalty. Jacob Ranson is going in the box here. The referees have decided that he maybe had one too many goes at it there. So that's Jacob Ranson going to the box. 2 minutes for something. I didn't see a call there. 24-12 the time of the penalty.
I'm going to guess maybe slashing.
Slashing is the most likely.
But there again, that all came out of this play that the Raiders are running, where they stretch the puck, move Priest out of position across the front of the net.
Antonov steps in from the blue line. Shot goes wide of everything. Balaz. Up to Goodbye. Goodbye, shot through traffic, blocked by the skates of Rossbottom. Finds Antonov, spins away from Cooper. Connolly with a stick in the lane will clear the zone.
Getting the opportunities there on that offensive push, but again, they're just too far out.
Swinging the line for the Raiders, as Chris said, on this penalty kill. Goodbye goes to cross-ice pass. Connolly blocks again. Priest will have to come out of his net to play it. Raiders will try and change one forward. Bees into the zone. Cross-ice pass. Morris winds up, fires. That's wide. Kept in by Baz. Rosbottom. Back up to Goodbye. Antonov inside for a minute. The power play chip in front by Morris. Goes under Winterbank's leg. Antonov shot in front. Morris again with a tip. Up into the netting. Good move saves for the young netminder.
And that's much better there from the Bees power play. Moving the puck around at speed. Again, a bit too far out for my liking on those chances. Banyan needs to be a little bit closer in to get that kind of shot to work on Winterbank.
Netminder getting a lot of congrats from Raiders players going off and on the ice. Face off to Winterbank's left. One by the Bees. Will Stead finds his way back up to the blue line. Chipped down low. Doughty loses the puck out to Ralph. Goes round the boards. Baird can't keep it in as Ralph gets hammered by Doughty. The Raiders break the other way. To front of the net again. Saved by Priest. Rebound still loose. Raiders still going. Saved by Priest in the second attempt. And another scrum in front. Arm is up again. We're going to get more penalties.
Well, there's definitely a theme here now, which seems to be they've identified Griffin Priest doesn't like the close contact. So they're definitely crashing that net, looking to rattle him.
The thing is, I'm not sure they're rattling him. It's hard to describe. I don't think it's rattling the netminder. I think it is just a case of sheer annoyance. And as you see with annoyance, it tends to draw penalties. But again, we're coming all the way back down this end.
As Novak is heading to the penalty box.
So it looks like we're going to get 20 seconds of 5-on-3. That is Branislav Novak heading to the box for 2 minutes. 4 roughing is the call on that one. Penalty time 25:48 for that. 5-on-3 for 25 seconds. The Bees had plenty of opportunities last weekend with the 5-on-3. I think it was 4 in total, and they only scored on 2 of them. 25 seconds obviously is not a lot of time, but when you start on one side, down here, you've got a chance. You've got to think they've got a chance. They've got to take it here before Ranson steps out of the box. Face off, left of Winterbank. Lasham wins the draw. Comes back up to Goodbye. Goodbye winds up, fire shot, blocked in front brilliantly by Tom Ralph. Back to Goodbye. Balaz. Goodbye winds up, fires. That shot is blocked again brilliantly by Lasham this time. He will clear it, and that will probably do for the first penalty. It'll be 5-on-4 shortly. Bees ahead again. Antonov, Ranson out the box. Antonov will go coast to coast. Shot in front. Doughty was there. Nobody there. Nobody picks up Ranson out of the box. He clears the zone. Goodbye finds Balaz. Goodbye was Antonov not to take. He kicks it ahead. Dewey is quite happy to take that behind the net. Tries to go all the way up to Leisham. Leisham with it. Leisham steps in. Shot saved by Priest. Priest hasn't covered up, and the Raiders shovel it in for a second, short-handed. 26-40.
And I think that was Jacob Ransom that got it.
I think Ransom has got it there.
But again, they get in close. They created a bit of chaos. It looked like the Bees were more concerned with a bit of the rough stuff, not clearing out Ransom in front of the net, and that allowed him to poke it home unchallenged.
Justin frantically trying to get the replay for you. We'll get that for you as soon as we can. 1:09 left on the Novak Minor. Definitely
not as a case of Priest maybe not rattled, but definitely it seems like the Bees' defence is rattled whenever the... I mean, I know there's to say, you don't touch the netminder, but...
We'll get you the replay for that at the next stoppage in play. Here we have a draw again. Again, Bees still 5-on-4.
Best way to kill a penalty though is to score short-handed.
Norcliffe able to clear the zone away from Baird. Harvestead has to go back to collect.
But this is what we talked about at the beginning of this period. Both teams were trying to figure out what's going to work, and obviously the Raiders have worked out that if they get in close like that, it's going to work.
And they're filling lanes now. Leia with a good defensive shift there. Steals the puck ahead of Smith, dumps it in, beats Baird to it as well, and takes it away from Wilstead. But that puck really finds its way up to Aidan Doughty. Doughty drop pass to Smith. He drops it to Doughty. Doughty shot saved by Winterbank. Into the corner. Cooper clears.
Good attempt by Doughty, but Winterbank looked to have that scouted all day.
And Raiders return to full strength. Up ice, Rose can't get on the end of it, and icing is called. 12:05 left in the second period.
I don't think you can really say, and here we have the replay.
It's good work from Leisham up on the blue line. What is it? It's replay something, Nick, but I don't think it's the goal. We'll work on it. We'll get it for you in a minute.
Pre-season, everyone. Pre-season.
Face-off won by the Raiders. Ralph.
But from a Raiders perspective, I don't think you can really ask for a better penalty kill than the last 4 minutes.
Rose knocks it on ahead. Ralph doesn't beat Webb to the puck. Leisham able to knock it ahead. Finds Milton. He finds Barry, who just flips into the corner. Is that off the referee?
It was off the referee. Almost in a very low and personal area.
As Kelly and Landsberg take each other out as well. Milton. Return pass. Draws the man over. Ralph. The Bees all at sea at the moment. Puck finds his way back to Milton. Barry. Sylvester winds. Pass across to Ralph. Shot is blocked, goes into the corner. Kelly able to take it away from the Raiders forward. Bees can't clear the zone again. Leisham shot, that goes over the bar. Raiders with it. Goal 2 for the Raiders scored. Jacob Ransom assisted by Adam Leisham and Elliot Dewey. The time 26:40 on that one. I believe producer Nick has got the replay ready to go. The next stoppage in play. Raiders with it. Power on the blue line. Shot through traffic. Takes through deflections. Man trailing in front. Brithen Priest again reaches back well to save it. Covers up. It sounds what look like a certain third goal. Here's the second one, however.
So there's the initial shot. Puck goes loose, and as we see there, the Bees defence, I'm not sure which Bees defenseman that was. Wilstead seemed to be more preoccupied.
Harvestead, yeah.
seems to be more preoccupied with trying to start a fight than trying to stop Jacob Ransom.
The puck came loose there. I think this is why Ransom obviously was having a shovel, as it were, before when he got called for the penalty. He just went a little too far. But he probably found out that he is able to get the puck out from under Priest quite easily.
But that's been the Raiders' game plan this whole period. Seems to be is draw Griffin Priest out of position, get somebody in that area around the blue paint, and either annoy him or annoy the defenseman that's in waiting, and either draw a penalty or, as we've seen, to convert 2 goals.
Ross Bottom can't get a shot away. Barnes goes to collect. Finds Ross Bottom looking for goodbye. Not there. Ailiff clears it away from Hops. Steady's there to collect. Puck knocked loose again. But again, someone getting in their own way. Hops takes a big hit. Clearance only makes it to the blue line.
That was a move straight out of the Brett Lebda school of defensive passing.
Ross Bottom coughs the puck up now. It's a layer. Hops finds goodbye. Goodbye. Brilliant pass up to Ballas. Nobody with him. Ballas tries to cut inside, stops, and gets stood up brilliantly by Brandon Ailiff. Ross Bottom to throw net. And Ross Bottom finds the roof of the net. On the backhand, he cuts the deficit in half. 30-53 the time of the goal. Bees on the board.
And that is just a beautiful little move by Adam Ross Bottom. It starts here with the hit on Ballas. He collects the puck, skates around it, and then just over the top of Brad Winterbank.
Everyone stopped, including myself, when Ballas got that hit, took that hit. Ross Bottom flips it onto his backhand and flips it over Winterbank's glove and in.
It was one of those moments on the ice where it looked like everything had just stopped dead except for the player.
1 second.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying it only takes that 1 second, doesn't it? Everyone stopped.
So, I'm suddenly thinking of that scene from the Mighty Ducks 3 with Coach Orion. How long does it take to score a goal? 1 second.
Ross Bottom with his second goal of pre-season so far. Doughty with the puck. Loses out. Cooper. Turned over. Marcel Ballas gets an assist for being knocked onto his backside. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll take it. Anderson flips ahead. I believe it's Ross Bottom from Ballas, and goodbye has been announced. Antonov with it. Up the left-hand side, uses Wells as a screen. Wells blocks the shot. Doughty tries to go back to Stead.
Really good positioning by Ballas as well on the build-up to that whole play. Ross Bottom applied the finish on that one, but Ballas really did make that entire play happen.
And used the super distraction of getting hit.
So I remember from my days playing a game called Eastside Hockey Manager, the scouting used to refer to players as "will take a hit for the team."
That game is still epic when it works. Raiders clear the zone. Rose is there, but only finds Lasham. Lasham into zone 3, B's around him. Morris holds him up. Penalty in the air. Lee Morris is going to go to the box again for slashing. Here's the call there. 31-58 to the time of the penalty. And the Bees go back on the penalty kill. Liam Morris slashing minor. And the Raiders get another go on the power play. They looked almost certain to score on the last one.
It looked very impressive, this power play, the last time out, but will they use the same game plan as they did?
Well, Goodbye immediately rips it away from one forward. Held up against the boards now. Winterbank out of his net to play it. Dewey will start the rush. Cross-ice pass finds way over to Leia. Leia going for the same move again. Drop pass, stick lifted. Still finds his way to Latram. Just slowed down for a moment. Latram back to Dewey. Dewey shot through clean air in that one. It is well watched by Priest, and he holds on. 104 left on the minor.
Very interesting approach to the screening there from the Bees. On the one hand, it allowed Priest to see that shot coming in, but at the same time,
it just opened up a lane. If Dewey felt like he wanted to close the angle a bit, he could have done.
Something I've noticed on these power plays, that the Bees are struggling a little bit to get that box set up. They're very easily being stretched and moved out of the position that you would expect them to be in.
Antonov, cross ice clearance, kills a few more seconds. Winterbank out of his net. Held up against the boards. Raiders bring it away with Connolly. Norcliffe to the front of the net, no one there. On-rushing goal forward there. Shot is blocked in front by the Sea of Humanity. Milton. 30 seconds left on the Morris penalty. Finds Ralph. Shot coming from the point. Saved by Priest. Bees can't clear. Leia tries to dump it back in. Bees able to clear. Then someone's on goal. Winterbank has to play it away. Antonov still giving chase. Held up by Ralph. Penalty coming. Penalty called. Vanya Antonov, a very good drawing of the penalty there, as Tom Ralph will sit 2 for holding. 33-51.
Well, it's an underrated skill that Vanya has. He's actually, he's obviously always remembered as the goal scorer, the sniper, the forward. He's a really good penalty killer. He draws those kind of penalties, and he also scores the short-handed goals occasionally.
So we go 4-on-4 for 7 seconds. So Tom Ralph 2 minutes for holding at 33-51.
Feels like this period, you know how in the first we said it was each team was trading offensive opportunities. Now it feels like both sides are trading penalty kills.
Yes, everyone have a go this week. Goodbye, steps in, shots, gloved by Winterbank, but he coughs it up. Wells is the first player there. He will clear it. Blocked by Antonov. Knocks it on her head. Morris tries to go back to Balaz. That goes out the other side. Goodbye back to collect as the Bees return to full strength. Goodbye into the zone. Down low to Morris. Back to Goodbye. Finds way to Antonov. Balance. Wells for company. Not able to knock it clear. And Novak gets it out the zone.
Bees power play here really needs to find a way to get into that central area. They've really been stuck to the outside on these power plays at the moment.
The puck has actually gone up into the sock of Blaslav Novak. That will stop and allow the Raiders a change with 1:12 left.
I saw a similar situation last weekend lead to a roughing penalty.
How'd you get a roughing penalty for having a puck in your sock?
It was a Streatham game.
Oh, that's how.
That explains everything.
Face off, won by the Raiders. Slapped down the other end of the ice by Leia. Bees the other way. Smith just turns into traffic. Almost a disaster as Ailiff sneaks in. Stead holds Ailiff off. Tries to draw a penalty himself. Stead places up into all 4 Raiders and loses the puck.
It does feel at the moment like there is despite there only being 4 of them, there's a Raider everywhere at the moment whenever there's a Bees player on the puck.
Bees chipped ahead by Will Stead. Raiders once again will clear. Ailiff almost with a chance to break. Priest does a good job selling it down. Fires it off the board brilliantly, I must say. Josh Smith. Will Stead into the zone. Sorry, Doughty into the zone. Doughty shot for tying off the post. Tip in front from Dan Rose. The Raiders will clear. And they'll feel like they got out of jail there as they return to full strength in a second. 4 minutes left in the second period. Bees with it. Rose tries to settle it down for Webb. Webb turns himself into trouble. Coughs at the puck to Sylvester. Milton. Up the right hand side. Stops. Hesitates. Tries to find Wells. Wells winds. Fires. Shot blocked in front. Chipped ahead now. Webb gives chase. Good stick in the lane there by Callum Wells to knock it away. Sylvester can't get there ahead of Kelly. Landsbergs. Through centre ice, up the left-hand side now. 2 rows for company. Shot on goal, topped up by Winterbank. Landsbergs loses out. Webb shot from tight angle, goes through the crease. Knocked clear that time by Lasham. Baird turns quick, fires, finds Landsbergs, beats the breakaway. Landsberg shot wide. Lasham collects this puck. Falls into the corner, takes a tumble. Rays come away with it. Wells turns it over. Gabay in front. Dom Gabay round the netminder. Dom Gabay ties it up. And an error in the defensive zone. The coach is able to capitalise on. It's 2-2 at 36:59.
And that was a beautiful solo effort there from Gabay, as we're going to see here on the replay. Can't see it out of shot, but forces the turnover, collects the puck, takes the centre, and then just slots it over Winterbank.
Can't quite see who that is. The defender there on the goal line had 2 choices to make. It was either protect the shot or go to the man, and in hindsight he should have gone to the man.
Well, we said the 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey. The Raiders had 2 choices. I said it, and I stand by it. They had 2 choices: shut it all down or go all out. They didn't go. They went all out, and it's led to it being back at 2-2.
Chris Peel, hockey genius.
I'm just a loud mouth with a Twitter feed.
Hey, me too.
And a microphone for the evening.
Me too. Raiders still with it. Gabay gets his 2nd goal of pre-season, unassisted that time. Doughty back up to the blue line, finds his way across to Baird. Wilstead turns away to Doughty. Novak for company. Wilstead can't quite get away from Marco Pascalo. Does get turned over to Antonov. Doughty, tight angle chance. Works away from Novak. Doughty from the tight angle again. Saved by Winterbank. And a stick in the face for Elliot Dewey there by accident, I should say.
Earlier in the game, it was the Bees that were struggling to get the clearances out. Now, all of a sudden, the Raiders can't clear their own zone.
Referee's having a chat. Dewey is back up to his feet.
I can't see a penalty from this.
No.
That was purely. I mean, it came off of Doughty swinging, looking for that puck. But I mean, we're perched right over the top of that, and it looked like it had come loose from under Winterbank's glove.
Yeah, we've got. Luckily for us, we've got the perfect angle for that from up here. Face off to Winterbank's left. 2:08 on the clock. Won by Leia. Brings it around the boards. Kept him momentarily by Mogg, but only for Norcliffe. Brings it out. Finds Leia again. Leia steps aside 1 man. Shot towards goal. Is cleaned up in front by the Bees. Ralph can't keep it in at the blue line. Bees break in at speed. Morris to the front of the net. Deflected by a combination of Connolly and Barry there. Barry off the boards. Finds Connolly again.
That was a good combination of the use of speed and what I've been saying the Bees needed to do, which was try and get in close to try and get around Winterbank, and they did exactly that there.
Morris's clearance is gloved down. Bees still with it. Chipped ahead. Finds Morris again. Morris knocks it on. Ralph will be the first player there. He's calmly brings it away. Cross-ice pass attempted to Connolly. Instead able to clear the zone. We're going end to end now. For a bit of different. Gabay takes it away from Ralph. Gabay, 1 man to hold off in Barry. Gabay to the front of the net, backhander towards goal. Saved by Winterbank. Still is in front. Final minute of the 2nd period. Balaz goes back up to the D. Shot coming in from blue line, tipped in front. Saved. Gabay still with it. Gabay holds off 1 man. Leaves it for Nags. Finds Gabay again to the front of the net. Rossbottom can't get on the end of it. Barry clears. Turned over from Connolly. Rossbottom snaps the shot away. Well watched by Winterbank. 38 seconds to go.
Another sustained period of pressure, and a lot of it, again, like outside to the in. No more of this long-range stuff coming from the point or outside the hash marks. They're now trying to get something going up the middle.
it really feels like in this last 38 seconds, the Raiders just have to survive it. If they give up a third now, it's a very interesting game.
It really feels like Goodbye really wants that lead heading into this next break. He wants all of that momentum going in the Bees' favour.
Wells launches the puck off the glass. No, I think it's going to be a case of it's come off a stick, so there's no call there. Face off to Winterbank's right. One by Lasham. Wells goes the other way this time, finds Cooper. Milton. Cross-ice pass finds Lasham. Met by Stead, he's able to turn away. Raiders back inside. Milton. Shot in front is blocked into the corner. Referee gets in the way really there, Sylvester. 10 seconds left. In front of the net is blocked. Bees will try and hold on there. It's turned over again by the Raiders. Big bundle in front. Raiders bench wants a penalty. Instead, we'll get a buzzer for the end of the second period. And then the second period has been much more exciting than the first. The Raiders jump into a 2-goal lead thanks to goals from Nick Layer and Jacob Ranson. But the Bees have done a fantastic job of tying it all up with goals from Adam Rossbottom and Don Goodbye. There's been a little bit of chippiness as the night has gone on so far. But at the end of 2, it's Bees 2, Raiders 2.
Are you ready, kids?
That was perfectly timed. It's coming back on. Well done, Chris. We are just under 3 minutes away from the start of the third period.
Do I have to break into SpongeBob now?
Oh,
who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
It's 2-2 after 40 minutes. In that period, all full of goals too for the Raiders from Nick Blair and Jacob Ranson. Getting the Raiders down to a 2-0 lead. Adam Rossbottom and Don Goodbye for the Bees time the game up. Shots on goal in the second period. 14 on Brad Winderbank. 11 on Britton Priest. And obviously the wheel of penalties spinning round as always. 4 in that period, 3 on the Raiders, 1 on the Bees. Chris, a very even 20 minutes that one. We were a bit worried when it got to 2-0 Raiders that they could run away with it. But as a hockey genius said, the 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. And we go into the break all tied up.
I feel like another meme has been born here. Me, hockey genius.
I'll get you the hat for Christmas.
Yeah. Thank you. There is a reason he employed me for the evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, another period where, like we said, like first period, both sides were trading offensive opportunities. Last period, it was very much a case of trading special teams opportunities with both sides. One side would take a penalty, the other side would take a penalty. But again, very even.
It feels as well that compared to last week, and obviously no, you weren't here, but last week it very much felt like it was a pre-season game. It was two teams that really didn't worry too much about the result. They were trying to get systems down. This already feels like it's two teams that really want to win.
Well, the Liz Line Cup is on the line here, mate.
No, we've got sponsors, Chris. It's the Everyone Active
Sorry,
Field.
the Everyone Active Cup. Sorry. Yes, I mean, you know, as they say, there are no friendlies in hockey, especially and even in pre-season. Like, you know, both sides are going to want to win this. Both sides are out to prove a point.
As you just said that time, everyone will want to win this. There are no friendlies in hockey. Never a true word's been spoken. There are no such thing as a friendly in hockey. As both sides have joined us back out for the third period. Did phenomenally well for time here as well. Ending quarter past 8, hour and 45 for 2 periods. I only say that because not that you have to do it, Chris. They are doing a skate with the Bees after the game until 10 o'clock. I don't believe they're going to be doing overtime or a shootout in this, with it being cup on the line. I always find that part of pre-season weird when you do get a draw in one game, because again, the result doesn't matter, but I suppose teams will like to go and practice a 3-on-3 for a spell.
I mean, it's an interesting thing in hockey, in that the whole, once the 60 minutes are over, there is no draw. You know, I mean, I remember my days back in NIHL 1 North with the Coventry NIHL Blaze media team, and they used to have draws back in those days, and it used to feel a bit weird getting to the end of 60 minutes and no overtime, no penalty shots.
There was a culture shock for me when I first started helping out, so it was tight. It's like, but where is overtime? Raiders still trying to jump into the zone with Barry.
The weirdest,
Finds layer. 10th cross goal goes through the crease and out the other side.
I think possibly the weirdest one of those I ever had was a 0-0 draw in an IHL 1 North.
Those games are usually either brilliant or bobbins. There is no middle ground.
I had to cut the highlight pat for that. It was very difficult.
Goodbye with a chance. Stuffing it short side of Winterbank. He holds on. Face off to Winterbank's right. Won by the Raiders and Adam Lasham. Bees ahead. Bees want an icing call. It won't be given. Nags. Finds his way up by Antonov. He gets a shove in the back. Nothing doing there. Pascale. Almost finds his way over to Milton. Does find its way to Will Stead. He's only got himself for company. And gets it taken away by Power. Raiders in the other way. Puck finds way over to Sylvester. Great glove save from Brees. Through traffic, saw it late, made the save.
And the Raiders are now trying a different tactic on their break-ins. They're now trying the outside to the in. Driving the middle lane. Using their size up the middle.
Face off to Priest's left, but he can't quite get set. Rose comes away with the puck, finds Hops. Cross-ice pass finds his way to Morris. Morris behind the net, leaves it for, well, Jack Cooper. Raiders the other way. Puck takes a bounce off the boards, finds Smith to the front of the net, and that's pushed away by Winterbank before Morris can get there. Smith drops it off to Rose. Raiders again stick in the lane. Shipped ahead. Kelly slides it over to Rose. He dumps it in as he takes a hit. Turnover. Ross bottom intercepts, can't get it under control. Raiders recover. That puck takes a deflection off of Kelly and up into the bench.
There's been a lot of turnovers to start this period.
Yeah.
Neither side seems really able to get settled on the puck.
It started a bit cagey this period with more turnovers than your average bakery.
Well, if you think of it from a certain perspective, we are back to effectively sort of 0-0. We're all tied up again. First team to make the wrong move could potentially lose this now.
Hold up amongst skates between Balaz and Leia. Goodbye, able to flick it up ice. Ross couldn't quite get under control. Cooper loses his footing. Raiders the other way with Anderson. Finds Leia. Balaz knocks him off the puck. Ross bottom. Into the zone. Taken away from goal. Slides it down to Balaz, who will beat Barry to it. Balaz. Still with it. Turns, fires towards goal, off the boards. Raiders the other way. Dumped in off the side of the net. Ransom tries to get there ahead of Baird. Baird does a good job standing his man up. Cooper can't quite clear. He has two goes at it and ends up passing it off to Anderson. That gongs Priest on the side of the head. It looked like he did from our angle. Antonov able to bring it away. Into the zone. Lose it for Goodbye. Goodbye shot. That goes off Winterbank and up into the netting. Break of play. 16:22 to go in the third period.
Well, it was a good setup link up there between Antonov and Goodbye. Didn't give Winterbank too much time to get set up. Quick release, quick movement up. Forcing that Raiders box to collapse in towards its own net.
face off. 1 bounce left, 1 by the bees. Antonov snaps the shot. That sounded like it came off the pipe. Nag's able to collect. Raiders struggling to clear momentarily. Dewey able to settle it down. Finds the cross ice outlet. Knocked ahead. Priest out of his net. Bounces away from him. Nag's like he was the first man there. Norcliffe slides it around in front. Conley can't quite get there. Antonov takes it away from him. Mogg can't quite get it under control that time. Wilstead with it. Trying to find Doughty. Can't. Knocked back in by the Raiders. Mogg unable to find Nags. Conley towards goal. Tip in front attempt by Norcliffe. Doesn't do anything. Latram spins away from Mogg again. Deflected up. Norcliffe grabs it out of the sky. Tries to find a lane. Wilstead with a good stick in a way. Antonov off the boards. Clears the zone.
Clear enough now for one player to get clear of the ice on the line change there. They're really going to need to get this cleared and get some fresh legs out there.
Morris collects the puck, and that will give both teams a chance to change.
And as you've said several times now about my comments about how passive the defense was last weekend, definitely was a very, very passive period of play there from the defense, allowing the Raiders far too much time on the puck in that end.
Wells tries to start the rush again. Cross ice pass off the skate of Sylvester. Sorry, Milton. Stead only finds Sylvester. Morris causes Novak and Sylvester to fall into each other. Bees the other way. Webb dumps into the corner. Rose gives chase. That finds way down to Morris. Rose now with it. Rose from a tight angle around the net. Goes to the backhand chance. Saved by Winterbank. Shot from Morris. That goes up and over. Hops down to Webb. Through everyone. Milton collects. Raiders start the rush up ice and lose out almost immediately. Hops. Layer for company. Ballas has to come and assist. Ballas coughs it up. Shot saved by Priest. Power coming in off the blue line. Snapping it on goal. Held in the corner. Bees able to bring it away with Hops. Ross bottom. Tries to go for the cross-ice pass to Goodbye. Works out in the end. It finds its way to Ballas. Raiders take it away. Goodbye with the intercept. He loses it out. Raiders the other way. Cross ice dump into the corner by Barry. Hops can't get away from Layer. Puck finds his way back up to Ballas. Over to Cooper. The furthest man up ice. Cooper, who was once a Raiders player. Shot from a tight angle, saved by Winterbank. Shot come from Ballas. Raiders the other way. Knocked ahead. Howard trying to bulldoze his way through. Goodbye with a good stick in the lane. Dewey. Out to Pascale. 12.5 minutes left here in the third period. Another errant pass. Cooper collects. His pass is even worse. Takes a good bounce in front for Anderson, who can't get the shot away. Bees the other way. Wilstead. Other right-hand side, one man speed, blows past Pascale. Wilstead tries to drop pass, and stick in the lane. I didn't see that was from the Raiders. Breaks the play up. Anderson, shot in front, blocked by Baird. Doughty comes in to steal the puck away. His cross-ice pass off the leg of Stead and up into the rafters with 12:02 to go.
Been an interesting period of play there. Very back and forth, both sides again. Just we've settled back into that first period style of back and forth, trading the chances. And we have Sweet Caroline for the first time this evening.
I refuse to acknowledge its existence. If I've learned anything in life, it's do not feed the troll.
Which is odd for a man who wears a New England Patriots hat.
This is our house. It's the Patrick Wildline. Sorry, I can't hear you. I have my 6 Super Bowl rings in my ears. Shot from a tight angle is saved by Winterbank. Morris tries to shovel in front. There's a chance there for Josh Smith. Morris with it, spins, fires, puck loose in front again. Josh Smith tries to bundle it home. It's wider than net. Raiders try and clear, kept it in by Kelly.
Given how effective Winterbank's been with the range stuff this evening, that's going to be the way that you get another goal in this game.
Yeah, if you can see it, he stops it quite easily, but if you get in close...
It looked like he was adjusting his kit there for a second. It looked like he was in discomfort.
Into the zone. A fantastic move that by TJ Anderson. He loses an edge. He's brought down. Ross Bottom will try and clear and set goodbye away. Can't get it under control. That's cleared by Barry.
I love how Britton Priest gave him a lovely little tap on the head with the glove as he went through the crease.
Kelly over to Ross Bottom, knocks it on the head. Goodbye around the net. Can't beat the Raiders D-man to it. Sorry, Northcliffe playing D at the moment. It's all a bit scrambled. Nags off the bench, doesn't take the puck with him. Raiders the other way. Northcliffe shot, saved by Priest. Around the boards the other end. Ballas unable to get it under control. Raiders recover. Another errant pass off the skate. Ballas can't get it away from the linesman. It finds Antonov. Antonov steps in, shot saved by Winterbank. He'll hold on. 10:21 to go. And it's all getting a bit frenetic.
Well, I said the first team to make the next team to make that big mistake could be the one that loses the game. And we saw there mistake upon mistake, generating chance after chance and turnover and possession through the neutral zone on both ends.
Just been told I have to give a shout out to Lizzie Hatherley, who's watching from home in Guildford tonight. Face off, left of Winterbank, one by the B. Shot for tight angle, takes the deflection wide. Sylvester round the boards. Antonov beats it before it gets to the blue line. Down low, down hits the front of the net. Wilstead can't quite get there. Another stick in the lane. I think Sean Barry again for the Raiders. No, completely wrong on that one. Zach Milton. It's really annoying when it's the other end of the rink and they fold the numbers in half. I basically just have to guess. Face off again, one by the Bees. Comes out the zone though. Stead the other way. Cross ice, dump in. Raiders able to clear. Nags being put under pressure by Sylvester. Sylvester loses an edge. Nags does cough it up, but luckily Harvey stood there to clean up. Smith gets on the pass. Smith, good move to get around one. Can't quite get back round. As Marco Pascale puts on some good moves to take it away from the veteran forward. Raiders the other way again. Sylvester tries to go through Nags. Oh, sorry, hops even this time. Beast trying to bring it away with Stead. Can't. Raiders can't quite keep it in the blue line. Webb is there. Raiders do bring it in this time. Trying to get in the front of the net as Lasham is brought down. Wells goes back to collect.
Raiders now seemingly taking a bit more control of the game, forcing a lot more of the mistakes.
Right on cue. Wells back behind his own goal. Sylvester tries to find Nova. That's turnover again. Antonov's shot is wide. Comes all the way back up to Hops. He was quite happy to dump it back down low. Webb will give chase. Raiders with it. They will clear. Milton steps in off the left-hand side. There's a man coming in off as well. Milton's shot back was off the side of the net. Powell was the man on the cross-ice pass. But he's doing a good job of filling the lane with Landsbergs and Baird.
I mean, if he'd opted to pass there instead of shoot, I think definitely we would have been looking at a 3-2 in that scenario.
Milton wheels round. Back up to the blue line. Shot comes in. Save from Priest. Baird pokes it away. Antonov able to bring it away. There's a Raider going to the bench. I don't quite see it. It's Milton. Antonov steps in. One man to beat. Wells for company. He does a good job of holding up the forward. Comes back to Baird. Down low finds Antonov. Not quite to escape. Can't get it out. It's to a stick. Can't get it out of the skates. Baird's shot is blocked in front. and the Raiders are able to clear. Kelly. Rossbottom off the bench, catches the loose puck. Rossbottom shot, safe from Winterbank again. 7:35 to go. And it's really amping up in here.
Again, a little bit of a mistake on Kelly's part. I don't think I don't think that was he intended, but Rossbottom with a brilliant little pick up there, coming in from behind on the play, getting that offensive chance in, and we've got another face-off. And like that pendulum at the moment, the momentum seems to be with the Bees for the time being. Just got to see if they convert on it.
Ransom coughs it up and to Barry. Rossbottom intercepts, finds its way over to Baz. Goodbye shot from a tight angle, saved. Raiders the other way, 3-on-2. They don't see the trailer coming. There's the shot. Great glove save from Priest. Nick Layer there is the trailing forward. Another good save by the big Welshman.
Well, Priest was well screened there, but good eyes from Priest to catch that incoming shot from Layer.
Face off to the left of Priest. Won by the Bees. Bees break the other way. Into the zone. Pass picked off by Anderson. Raiders will look to launch the rush. Shot on goal from zone blue line from Layer. Priest sees it.
They all count as a shot on net as long as the netminder saves it.
I know it. Face off to Priest is left now. 6:46 to go in the third period. Won by the Raiders. Connolly's shot is blocked. Kelly collects the loose puck. Can't quite clear it. Now he'll come all the way back round into B zone to Mogg. He tries to find Antonov. He does get the tip ahead. Dewey is first to the loose puck. Shot towards goal by Doughty is blocked. Loose puck in the Raiders zone again. Wilstead holds off one man. Wilstead goes, spins around, nags. Mogg winds up, fires, and shot is wide. Wilstead with it now. Mogg steps in, shot towards goal, tipped in front, saved by Winterbank, who manages to stick it up high into the netting. Good reactions from the young netminder. Face-off will be to the left of Winterbank. Won by the Bees. Held up under skate. Snapshot from the side angle there by Josh Smith. No, sorry, by Liam Morris, sorry. Off the side of Winterbank. Puck comes back to Morris. He takes a hit from Wells. Comes around the boards. Harvey-Stead. Shot towards goal, floaters into the corner. Wells spins away from Webb. Rose creates a turnover, looks for an option, holds off, tries to find Morris. He gets a stick lifted. Harvey-Stead to put it back down below the goal line. Milton will clear. Turned over again. Mogg steps in towards the front of the net, scramble in front. Raiders will bring it away.
And it looks like now the Bees have identified moving up that centre channel, going in from the outside. If it wasn't for that bundle in the middle there, that could have probably been a very good chance to get them in the lead.
Rossbottom on the right hand side tries to find Baz. Stick lifted again. Raiders the other way. Spins away from Goodbye. Ailiff shot straight into the glove of Priest. He will hold on. 4:39 to go. And we've just been informed as well that if the score remains tied after 60 minutes tonight, there will be no overtime. We will go, well, straight into the end of game presentations. Second leg tomorrow night at the Sapphire in Romford will decide the cup. Figured with 5 minutes to go, it was a good time to check rather than tempt-fate. Baird brings it out of the B zone, finds Goodbye, he gets bundled over. Raiders the other way, Goodbye will stick in the lane. Raiders still with it. Leia spins around, tries to find Power, clears the zone himself. Power, one man to beat, knocks it round hops. Baird goes back to Power. Baird finds Goodbye. Gets away from one, tries to find Balaz, does. Balaz round the defenseman to the front of the net. Shot saved by Winterbank, loose in front. Rossbottom has a go. Raiders able to clear. Anderson collects. Raiders settling it down. 3.5 minutes to go. Up isolation. Lasham spins away from Stead. Sorry, from Mogg even. Lasham held up against the boards. Antonov comes and takes the puck away. Over to Stead. Stead towards the front of the net. Doughty's there. Can't get on the end of it. Finds Kelly on the blue line. Tip in front. Shot goes wide. Doughty collects. Held up in the corner by Dewey. Antonov back to Mogg. He goes back down low to Stead. Can't get there. Will make the loose puck though. Stead spins away from one. Finds a shooting option. Good work from Marco Pascale to force him out wide again. Raiders create the turnover. Take the puck away from Stead. He skates to the bench. 2.5 minutes to go. Raiders straight up through centre ice with Lasham. Lasham shot tight angle, save from Priest. Antonov will just go for the clearance. Morris gives chase on Cooper. Rose will also help. Cooper does a good job of getting away from both Beast players. Tipped into the corner. Novak. Baird for company. Loses the Kelly for company, sorry. Turned over though. Shot in front. Saved by Priest. Novak with the screen. Rose off the boards, gloved down by Connolly. Off Norcliffe to the front of the net. Priest sticks it behind the goal. Goes to the front of the net again. Norcliffe fans on the shot. There's a broken stick out there in the middle. It's Josh Smith. Final 2 minutes of the game. Smith was able to get out of the way.
And that was a series of mistakes that led to a pair of very, very good opportunities for the Raiders. But it's interesting that the Raiders have now switched to going more from long range as opposed to getting stuck in as they were earlier on.
Puck held in down low behind B's net. Conley able to bring it free. Tries to find Norcliffe. Held up in the end by Mogg. Morris directing traffic and letting both teams to get a change. Final 80-second to push.
Well, he just needed to get everything a bit settled down there because they'd had a very frenetic few minutes there with that long shift. Get it settled down, break out again.
Harvey Stead tipped on ahead by Rossbottom, only into the midriff of, I believe, Cooper. Barnard's able to bring it away, finds Goodbye. Goodbye over to Rossbottom. Avoids one hit, finds Balaz. Balaz wants it, fires. That shot is over the bar. The Raiders collect inside the final minute now. Rossbottom still with it, only finds Cooper. And the Raiders will hold fire briefly. Here it comes. Stepping inside Milton. Looks for an option in front. Leia with a screen in front. Leia still there, not giving up in it. Baird punches it over. Lasham loses the puck. Antonov the other way. 30 seconds to go. Antonov at the right hand side. Stops, looks for an option. Ballas calling for it. Antonov goes in front of the net. Goodbye. Ballas can't get away from Milton. Does eventually. Ballas from behind the net. Baird stepping in. Shot saved from Winterbank. Pushes it into the corner. 13 seconds. Raiders chance for one more go at it. Cross ice. Icing is called. 8.2 on the clock.
Question is here, does either of the coaches call a timeout, try to make a final push, or do you just settle for the 2-2?
It's got a feel of settle for 2-2 and go for tomorrow. You've got to imagine a set play is coming. So I would have thought a B's timeout was more likely just to get 30 seconds into Dom Vanya and Marcel's legs here.
So we're not expecting an Alex Murray a la
no.
Paul the goalie.
Kabai is lined up right behind Bowers, expecting a win. He can't get it though. Antonov tries to jump in on the play. Raiders will scramble around and will hold the puck up for the final few seconds as we end tonight's first leg of the Everyone Active Shield here. The score to TSI World Bees 2, the Raiders 2. Who has a draw in ice hockey?
It feels weird.
I don't know what to do with my hands. 2-2 is probably a fair result on the night, I would say. Obviously, next weekend we're doing this for real, and it would be a point each.
Yep.
That's something more than the Bees got out of the Raiders last year. If anything, it shows improvement for the Bees. The Raiders will probably be disappointed that they didn't put the Bees away when they had the opportunities.
I mean, with the strength of that Raiders roster against the strength of this Bees roster, it's definitely a sign of an improvement for this Bees team. I think the Raiders will, yes, they'll be very disappointed that they weren't able to put this Bees team away because they had several opportunities in the opening frame and as we saw the power play opportunities where they would stretch Priest out of position. And even though they converted on a couple of them in the second, they weren't really able to capitalise on them all the time. And they should have put at least maybe one more of those away. They'll be wishing they had put at least one more of those away.
I think obviously if we took positives from the Raiders, the top six in particular look a scary prospect going forward.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they want to build on what happened last year. Like I said, they were the stars of that weekend in commentary. They want to build on that, and they have definitely built on that. Leia, I was very interested to see how he was going to perform this evening, and he has really impressed me, as has Leishram. They've got two incredible import signings there.
I think that's the thing as well. It's been quite interesting. Obviously, last week I got to see the Wildcats and their three power-packed imports, and Tower, Llewellyn, and Malasinski. And tonight, obviously, it's been two teams with two imports, obviously for differing reasons. Obviously, the Bees ran into visa issues with theirs. The Raiders, Pierre-Luc Lorette, I believe, is it an NHL linesman gig he's possibly going for? I think it was a course or something like that. It shows how evenly balanced teams possibly can be when they have two imports on a team. Do you think the third import is going to make a big difference? Obviously, for both these teams, the Raiders already said they're actively looking for their third import to replace Lorette. The Bees, not so much.
It depends on the quality of the import at the end of the day, right? Because not all imports are the same. You know, Leia obviously has come in with brilliant pedigree behind him, but you know, imports in British hockey, especially at this level, are a little bit like netminders in the NHL. They're voodoo, wizardry, and a word I won't say live on the air. But you know, you can sign an import who's played top-tier Slovakian hockey, and he could come in and not put up any points whatsoever. So it's a question not just of the import, but it's a question also of what's around that import.
Yeah. I think the Raiders obviously, they kind of have to be looking for that import D-man with Leishram and Leia up top. I can't see many teams going for the Wildcats approach of let's have three import forwards and try and score 9 every night.
No,
the Raiders team, it feels solid. It plays their systems that Sean Easton has implemented.
The only way, I mean, they already have a strong roster, and the only way, I would agree, the only way that there's only two methods really you can take there to improve on what you already have in terms of that. Your forward core is solid. They have a very solid defensive back end, but if you want to make it more solid, yeah, you'd add an import defenseman, or go even one step further and you'd add an import netminder. But
I know,
heresy.
Yes, I know, I learned the hard way. Don't mention the import netminder. I do stand by that. I said Pavel Krajkovic would be a very good netminder in this league if he was allowed to play. We move on. Man of the match for the Raiders. You might hear who was said. We'll see it in a minute as they go on the camera. It's Marco Pascal, eh? Yeah, I've got no problem with that one.
I haven't got a problem with that.
Been
either.
very solid when you played for the then Junior Raiders, now Buccaneers in the last few years.
Yes, who played this evening and lost to my team, the Streatham Redhawks.
We don't talk about those. Markham Scarlett, I really like as a defenceman. He could have a big future. The Raiders, obviously, as they go for their lap of honour, we will see them tomorrow in the Sapphire for the second leg of the Everyone Active Shield. If you join us here in the building, obviously, thank you very much. If you've joined us on the stream, thank you very much. We'll see you next time. I can't quite remember when we see you again. I didn't prepare a date. I'm sorry, I'm not perfect.
It's on the screen.
That's not
it's
the
on the
Raiders.
Screen.
That's next week, Nick. Spoilers. Spoilers. Nick, you jumped the gun there. No more one
We're
guns.
so well prepared up here.
I know, pre-season.
What's the excuse going to be next weekend?
I'm just rubbish. The Bees, man of the match, I feel like we could go to a few contenders here. Britton Priest, I would say, is up there. Adam Rossbottom again. Brendan Baird was very good tonight. We'll wait and see who it is. If you had to pick anyone, who stood out for you for the Bees tonight?
Britton Priest really stood out for me. Harvey Stead really stood out for me as well. Didn't get the goal, but I think his pushes up ice really deserved. Yeah, I mean, Aidan Doughty really impressed me as well this evening. I mean,
the thing with Doughty as well is he's only going to get better. It's the first game back in, I want to say, 8 months. I think it was January last year, or January this year. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's also very obvious. I mean, obviously Rossbottom with that he also was incredible all over the ice tonight.
I said this to Tom last week. The thing that the Bees missed out on last year was Adam Rossbottom was only available for like the last 15 games of the season, and it really showed. Whereas now he's around for the whole season. And as I say that, man of the match of the Bees goes to Dan Rose. Dan Rose, I will say this, over the last year and already at the start of this year, has been a face-off winning machine, especially down in the defensive zone. He doesn't lose many face-offs, and in key situations, he's quite often the man they call on.
It's an underrated, again, it's a skill that gets overlooked. Like a lot of people obviously focusing on goal scoring and save percentages and plus minuses there, but face-off percentage wins. It's so vital that you are able to win face-offs in any situation.
It'd be really awkward if you spent a load of money on a fancy stat system and it didn't work at the start of the season, wouldn't it? Oh dear. Awkward! I could go for anybody. Read into that what you will. As the Bees go for
if only we had, say, an NIHL stats person.
Don't. As the Bees go for their lap of honour tonight. Gives me enough time to say, Chris, have you enjoyed yourself this evening?
I have enjoyed myself.
It's a new night out. You get to do commentary again. Change with me.
I mean, if you're happy to have me back, I'm happy to come back.
Always. Give me a date. As the Bees go for the lap of honour. It's enough from us tonight. 2-2 in town here for the first leg of the Everyone Active Shield. The Bees are back at home next Saturday in a new weird Saturday night face-off. There's one time I do mention it, because it's forgotten where the button is. To welcome the Peterborough Phantoms to town. The team we started last year off away from home on the Friday night, we welcome to the hangar on a Saturday night to start the year. The Phantoms do, of course, get the National League campaign underway the night before on the Friday when they welcome the Hull Seahawks to town. They'll be here for the second game of their weekend on the Saturday. Until then, from Chris and from me, we'll see you next week. Good night.